welcome back to my channel. Thank you for dealing with me and my bullshit. I am on some more bullshit right now. So I don't know how I started thinking about Derek Jackson. Yeah, Derek Jackson. Dirk. I don't know what made me start thinking about Dirk, but I've never followed him because I never follow a man that looked like him telling me anything. Just a man that looks like him already sends off red flags. Another story for another day. However, I know his story and I know what they talk about him on social media, about how he's a love and relationship guru and he teaches women how to make sure men respect them. I can respect that. Derek, unfortunately, is the type of man that he teaches us to avoid. So he is the man. He knows what we should avoid because he's that man that we should avoid. So a lot of the things that he says is just like, oh, he's right. He's absolutely right. But the problem is that he's that man that we have to avoid. So how do we know how to avoid this type of man when this type of man is telling us that he's a good man and avoid men like him? But he portrays himself as a man who's not like him. It's a little deep. So anyways, I never listened to his videos, so I was gonna watch his video and then do a reaction and kind of talk about it, because I don't want to share, I don't want you guys to like see him, I don't want to promote him on my page, I just want to talk shit about him. So I'm like, oh, let me just listen to what he has to say and y'all can hear his voice, and then I'll just talk my shit while he doing this, because I want to see my real reaction of how I really feel about what he has to say, based on the fact that I agree with his message, I just don't agree with him. Okay, so anyways, this one is make him respect your absence. And I got a lot to say about that, and I was about to do a video about that, and then I saw this, so this is how we came to this conclusion. So
let me say this. It's not your job to make a man appreciate your presence.
True.
And I know that sounds counterintuitive to a lot of what I've said before, but it's not. You can't make a man really do anything, but you definitely can't make a man appreciate you and your presence.
You can't make anybody appreciate anything.
And that you're being in his life. But what you should always do is make sure that a man respects your absence. As a woman, you must always make sure a man respects your absence. That means he must always have to acknowledge the possibility that he could lose you. And I know that sounds messed up.
Men don't like losing. If he know he gonna always win and he know you ain't never gonna leave, then what the fuck he gotta be worried about you for? Because you ain't going nowhere. That's just like, what that, oh, light-skinned Keisha, her dude gonna say, you ain't leaving? And she said, yes, I will. And he was like, okay. Because I've been cheating on you this whole time, and I'm about to cheat on you again, and you're going to get pregnant. You're not going to leave because you're going to be stupid like everybody else.
No, but I'm not telling you to play around with a man, to toy with him, to take for granted that men need to feel safe and secure in their relationship too, or anything like that. What I'm saying is speak the language of men. If you're going to connect with a man and get the best out of a man, you have to speak the language of men. And men, we communicate with loss. We understand loss. We understand that if we don't take care of something and we could lose it, we better bring our best. We better put our best foot forward.
I forgot what I was about to say.
There's nothing in the world that a man is not in fear of losing, or doesn't even respect that he could possibly lose, that he's going to do his best to keep. Nothing, including a woman. Everything that a man knows could be here today and gone tomorrow, he will fight to the death to protect. If he loves his children, his money, his respect, his reputation,
his baby mama, his wife, his ex-girlfriend.
Go to the end of the earth for something that they know they could possibly lose at any moment. But have you ever seen a woman that's considered to be the woman that ain't going nowhere? Ah, she ain't going nowhere. Have you ever seen that woman get the best out of a man? Somebody tell me. I haven't. She ain't going nowhere. Yeah, she ain't gonna never leave me.
That's what he was saying about his fucking wife. Let me see when he did this. He did this 3 months ago. So not only does he feel this way, he thought his wife was one of those. That's why he was treating her like that, because he knew that she was one of those. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Burk, I forgot again. What did this man say? I forgot.
never heard that said about a woman who's getting the absolute best out of a man. But what about the woman that's like, man, she too important to lose? Well, I can't fuck this one. What do you know about when a man is saying something like that? He's likely trying to tap into his absolute best. So for you to even have a chance to get the best out of a man, he must respect your absence. He must be aware that he could possibly lose you, like, so he cannot play with you. And I was just stressing this to a young lady. She's in my Self-Crown VIP. For those who don't know, that's my app where I go live every week. I answer questions.
Sir, we do not want to hear your plug. LetUsGrowInto.com, where I can help you learn how to grow into whatever you want to. But the fact that you want to plug you in your little app like we care.
Like this stuff. Anyway, she was in there like, hey, I don't know why he treats me like this.
Because you allow it. Because you allow it. Because my narcissist told me I treat you like this because I allow it. And I was like, no, you treat me like that because you're a bitch. Because that's your personality. Not because I allow it, because that's who you are as a person. Who you show the world as is who you are. And you show me to be a narcissist and a man who wants to mentally manipulate someone. However, he was right. Had I told him he better watch who the fuck he talking to, and I would have whipped his ass, then it wouldn't have been no problem. Or had I walked away as soon as I realized that he was talking to me like that, and I said, oh, this is a man who doesn't know how to value me. This is a man who is on a lower level than me. So now that I realize that he's showing me the level that he's on, let me move on and not even date him, and let me move on to something better. However, I thought that was normal, because he reminded me of my fucking mother, my dad, my brothers. He was what I was used to. I didn't know that was wrong because I was used to it. But once I realized, now that you're here, and now that I'm saying this to you, and now that you realize that you're in a negative relationship and this man is treating you wrong, now that you have enlightenment, once you have enlightenment, now you have to move on. But if you have enlightenment and you stay there, then that shows them that you are worthless. It's just when you hear Coco Jones' voice, you just gotta stop. She should be singing the national anthem. But anyways, when you stay in a relationship where a man is treating you like trash, you're showing him that you are, because he is treating you as such. There is no way this raggedy ass DerekJax is gonna treat Beyonce, Tyra Banks, or LaQuisha, who worked her ass off to get that banking job. You know what I mean? You don't have to be
I do this for.
You don't have to be famous. You just have to have self-respect. There's no way he's going to treat the lady who went and worked hard for her degrees like that. He's not going to treat anybody who worked hard to be the woman that they wanted to be like that. They're only going to treat women who are low vibrational like that because they know they can. Don't let these niggas...
I do that for him. I go to the ends of the earth for him. I've been over backwards for him.
We rewind.
He must respect your absence. He must be aware that he could possibly lose you, like, so he cannot play with you. And I was just stressing this to a young lady. She's in my Self-Crown VIP. For those who don't know, that's my app where I go live every week. I answer questions, all that good stuff. Anyway, she was in there like, hey, I don't know why he treats me like this. I do this for him. I do that for him. I go to the ends of the earth for him. I've been over backwards for him. I'll cross the ocean for him. I'm like, but he won't even jump over a puddle for you. Why are you doing all of that?
I will cross the ocean for you. I will go and bring you the moon. I will be your hero, your strength, anything you need. I will be the sun in your sky. I will light your way for all times. That's some weak shit. And they taught that to Monica at 15, and they had Monica teaching that to us. So I'm 15 thinking I gotta be this man's everything because that's what the damn song told me. And Monica was 15 telling me what to do. So when I turn 15, I gotta be this man's sun in the sky. And y'all wonder why we so lost and confused. You do not have to be a man's everything. Do not cross no motherfucking ocean for a man who ain't even gonna give you a life jacket. What kind of shit is that? And then for the women who are like I was, who say, I'm just trying to show him love because I never got it, and I'm just trying to be to them what I always wanted. Save me the bullshit. I said the same story. No. Be all of that to you because they don't know how to appreciate it. They don't deserve it. Be all of that you deserve to yourself. Because I wish the fuck I would be somebody's goddamn crossing ocean. I tried to push play, but it didn't work. But
and she thought, like a lot of people, whenever a man took her for granted, she can kind of inspire him to appreciate her by giving him more of what he was already wasting.
That's what I just said. I literally just fucking said that. We're so goddamn dumb. And it's not even that we're dumb. We're literally taught that, ladies, you are dumb because you were being taught to be dumb. Can I please unteach you the foolishness? This man just said what I said. I don't even like him.
Her time, her energy. And I said, look, you're working backwards. Maybe as a woman, that's how y'all work. But as a man, if you're going to get the best out of us, we must have in our mind that, oh, wait, I could lose her at any moment. Not for any little thing. Let me explain. First off, the first way that you make sure that a man respects your absence, and some of y'all it may be too late, some of y'all it's not. But if you're single, definitely listen to this part. But you must establish a certain level of fulfillment and happiness when you're single. Those of y'all who are coming in and you're blurring the line between you being intentional for a real relationship and all of that, you're blurring that line and the line where you need a man to save you from your singleness. This is why I caution you against that. You can be single, you can be happy in your singleness while still desiring a relationship.
He's right. So what he's trying to say is you have to find fulfillment within yourself. Because if you're looking for someone to complete you, oh, you complete me. You put my heart in your hands. And I knew that. I was trying to do Keisha Cole, but I can't remember. But the whole point is just like, don't nobody complete you. These songs and these women, they're saying these things that they're being taught and they're wrong. And we love them so. And please keep listening to Monica and Keisha Cole. I am not against them, whether they wrote the songs or not. But these are fucking men. First of all, there's probably men writing them songs. I'm about to look it up. Because it's like, who the fuck are teaching us that? And even if it is women who's writing this song, that's not how it is anymore. We're not doing that. We're not completing no one but ourselves. You were fucking complete by yourself. And then you be complete and you meet another complete person, you be a fucking force. Like Neon Fabulous said. Let me see. What's her name? Because y'all making me mad. Monica. I will. Because y'all not about to get me with a copyright. Because I need y'all to pay attention to this video. Hold on. Let me see who wrote the song. Oh, I was talking major shit. It was a woman. Diane. Diane, stop telling us that we got to cross the oceans and stuff for these men just because it rhymes and it sounds good. You know what I mean? I'm still going to listen to the song. But could we start teaching these women how to be independent and how to be fulfilled within themselves? I mean, we are starting to teach that. Could it go viral? Could we do that? Could we make sure that we understand we need to be complete within ourselves and not on some bad bitches I can pay my own bills, my own rent type of shit. Y'all type of girls sound stupid, okay? I'm speaking about finding fulfillment and wholeness within yourselves. Whether you can pay your bills or you can't. You paying your own bills and doing all this stuff on your own is a requirement of an adult. It's nothing to be bragging about. You're bragging about paying your bills to a man who's worthless. Stop talking to worthless men, ladies, and find men who's worth something. Find something within yourself. Man, I broke up with my ex. He not my ex. He was my situationship. How you break up with a situationship? I fucking fell in love with him, and I miss him extremely deeply. Miss him. And I cried last night, and then I got up, and I'm going to keep moving. And if the right man come while I'm still crying over the wrong one, I'll be cool because I'm happy by myself. I don't need a man. I want to be happy within me. So find the happiness within you is what I'm saying.
You can live a life that's fulfilling, that when you do things, you know, this is what brings you happiness, like you're good, while still wanting and making room for a man in your life that
if
you can value.
If he comes, then he can help
me.
But if not, it's still going to get done. With or without you, sir.
His energy. All of that stuff. Don't think that the only way that you could be out here really open to a loving relationship is to be desperate for one until you get one. In fact, that's the absolute worst position. Being happy in your singleness gives you the most leverage to get what you deserve, not to just take.
Because you're not just going to take whatever. You're not going to accept whatever.
In your singleness, that man has in his mind, she was good before I met her.
So what can I bring
In
to
the
the
relationship,
table?
she was good before I met her.
So she don't need me.
So
I
that's
gotta
what
come
I'm
correct.
competing with. I'm competing with her being good before I met her.
He's
I
not
don't get to
competing
meet
with
this
another
woman.
man. He's competing with you. Treat me how I treat me. You've been treating yourself good this whole fucking summer, this whole past few months. I've been without my ex situationship for how long? And I was doing good before you. I'll be doing good after you. Be doing good with you. I'll be doing good with you. Feel me? You're good. So can't nobody do nothing because you're good, sis.
Bar that's in hell, because before me, she was so depressed and anxious and waiting for a man and just couldn't do nothing until she got into a relationship. Her whole life was just waiting for a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
at all
sad.
points in the relationship, if you were happy before you met that man, in fact, that actually makes you more attractive because you're coming with overflow instead of a void for somebody to fix.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were happy before you met that man, that's what he knows he has to compete with. And men don't mind competition. I'm gonna tell you why in just a moment. But that's the first way to make sure that a man respects your absence. That he always has to acknowledge he could lose you at any moment, which is a good thing for men. The second way, and it's kind of close, but you must maintain a level of interdependence during a relationship. And I understand, especially in marriage, you know, there may be times where you are dependent on that man. If you just had his baby, you may be dependent on him. If you sacrifice your dreams in order to take care of the house while he's out going to go to work, yeah, you may be financially dependent on him for a while or something like that. But to the best of your ability, you need to make sure that you maintain some level of interdependence, meaning you're good without him, but you value him while he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, while he's being a valuable contributor. Because again, you don't want a dependentship. You want a relationship. You want something where y'all are together because y'all relate well, because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, not because you can't survive without him.
It's everything you wish for. Your site traffic is skyrocketing.
So I really
until this happens. Be careful what you wish for.
I have some applesauce, and I just realized that applesauce has high fructose corn syrup in it, and I feel like that's what the bees want. And I've been looking everywhere for my damn pen, because he's starting to stress me out, and I need to smoke a little bit off camera. But interdependence is extremely important. So I am definitely one of those women that believe you need to have a side account. I was married and I did not have a side account. I didn't need one for the reason why I think women should just, but at the end of the day, make sure that you have another stream of income. Make sure that you have a hobby, even if it's not income. And you should always have your own income. There's no way around that. But even if it's a hobby, you can't be so dependent on him. I feel like this man is dissing his ex-wife the whole time. I'm just getting the energy is that this video he's talking directly to her and saying this is why. Because her energies just came off like she was lost. And she's growing and she's learning, and it's okay for you to have been that woman and to have gotten out of it. I was a woman similar to that, and I got out of it. That's why I'm here making this long ass video. It's only been 5 minutes and I've been talking for 18, so.
Whenever you guys meet conflict in a relationship and you're forcing that man to address ugly parts of himself that nobody really wants to address in order to grow and to evolve and to properly take care of you, he's going to consider the alternative. Because it's hurtful, it's tough, it's really difficult to really face those ugly parts of yourself, to discipline yourself, to check your ego, to be humble, to be considerate, whereas he may not have had that coming into the relationship. So when he considers that alternative, he needs to know that it's really real, that you'll go out there and you'll either be good without him, because financially you don't depend on him, emotionally, mentally you don't depend on him, as opposed to thinking, well, I ain't gotta do the hard work. She ain't good without me anyway. No. If you ever get to that point, I promise you, you're going to get complacency at best from a man. The third way you make sure that a man respects your absence is to have a life outside of him. This kind of goes into being single and being happy as well. But have a life outside of him. Never get to a point where you have no friends, no family, no activities outside of that man.
And if he always find a reason why you shouldn't go out, or always find an excuse, or always try to bring up the kids, or what kind of mother dresses like that at an African concert, if he do any of that kind of shit, then, that's like a red flag or orange flag and like a goddamn burgundy flag. Like some of these flags look like old ass period blood or something. Like it's just, and it reeks of disgust, and we just ignore it. Who's teaching us to ignore these red flags?
And the best way to do this is, again, not thinking of a relationship as something that's got to save you. Not being in a space while you're even open to a relationship where you need to be saved at all.
I am not in a space where I need a man around me. I'm not in that space. I'm not in that space. So I can't date anyone until I get in that space. I'm complete within myself, but I'm not in that space. I know who I am. I have to check myself. I can only speak for myself, but I look at my ego. I look at my mistakes. I look at my past relationships, and I say, dang, why is it that you keep meeting men like this? Then maybe you should think about the kind of man that you date. What are you doing? We have to take accountability for ourselves and what's going on around us, within us.
But you need to maintain a life outside of that man. And lastly, you must constantly affirm your boundaries with conditional love. Now, this is the part I really want to stress to y'all, because this is the part where I think a lot of y'all go wrong. As women, you're thinking, most times anyway, if I love him as hard as I possibly can, he's not going to want to fumble me. No, that's how you think.
That's what I said.
That's how you think.
That's what he said earlier, that I kept trying to remember what he said. We keep thinking about things how we see it and how we perceive things instead of understanding how they perceive things. Ladies, they don't care about love and gushiness and how you're better than his mom and how you're giving him all the love that his mother never gave him. He don't give a fuck. He care about whatever this man is saying he care about. Listen to what that man is saying he care about, then you can stop expecting him to care about how loving and nurturing you are. I definitely thought I was going to teach Muffin. Muffin mom used to beat the shit out of him, okay? She used to treat that man so bad when he was younger. She did the best of what she could. I don't blame her. I understand. I don't agree. I understand. However, I thought like, man, this man just needs some love. So every time he would act out and lash out and do his narcissistic shit, I'd be like, and I would just zone out. I wouldn't hear it because he clearly hurt. He clearly just doing what he doing. I didn't know I was being his punching bag, but in hindsight now, I realized I was just being his verbal punching bag, and I would just let him do it because I realized like his mom never taught him no better. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just have to teach him, but I can't teach him directly, so he would have to learn indirectly. So I'm still wanting to be a psychologist, you know. I'm like, I'm gonna be a therapist one day, so I got to figure out how to work with difficult patients. Not realizing that this man was beating me every day with his words. Every time I talked to him, I was being attacked, and I didn't realize it. I forgot my point about that, but thank you for letting me get that in.
And he's not going to want to fumble me. No, that's how you think.
Oh yeah, you can't love Muffin
enough.
you can't love Muffin enough. He was
but
just
think
trash.
about just the fact that, okay, from Neanderthal times, men go out and we hunt and everything like that. What motivates us to go out there and hunt? What would motivate us? Just think, hypothetically speaking. If we don't, we're going to
suffer.
You
want it. If you don't get it, you're not going to have it.
Going to starve.
Right.
What motivates us to go out to war? We just like the potential of dying?
No, you're trying to protect your family.
We don't want our children to die, our family to die, our communities to burn down. Like, we don't want something to go, right? There's a condition. If something is not protected, we're going to lose it. If we don't fight, we're going to lose it. If we don't go to achieve or go to gather, we're going to lose it. There's conditions to everything. So don't think that you're like, you don't ever want to get to a point where your conditions are fickle or they're surface level. You know, oh, if he ain't got enough money today, you're not going to love him. No.
I tell my client, just like you have your children, and your children is, they're about to put their hand, the little baby's about to put their hand on the socket. And you're like, oh, no, little baby, don't touch that. And then you keep telling them, then you start to pop them. Mommy said no. Mommy said no. You might pop them harder. Okay, now we're going to pop your thighs. Because you are trying your hardest to prevent little baby from electrocuting themselves. Because little baby don't know. That's a consequence. There's a consequence to your actions. I said do not write on the wall. You wrote on the wall. So now you have to sit in the corner for the next 2 hours. That might be extreme, but whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever your consequence is, You disrespected me, Marquel. You continuously invalidate my feelings. So because you're going to do that, I am no longer communicating with you. You will have to get a new baby mama. We will only talk about the children. Whatever it is, whatever your consequences. Oh, I'm not answering the fucking phone. I do not argue with anyone on my fucking phone. I don't care if I paid that bill or that nigga paid the bill. I'm not arguing with him on the phone that anybody paid the bill. I'm not arguing with you on this phone. I don't argue on the phone. I do not argue on the phone. So as soon as a man start trying to argue or a female start trying to argue with me, I hang up real quick. I don't argue on the phone. That's my boundaries. And the consequences are. These are the consequences. My best friend and I got into it the other day. First time we ever got into it, like literally ever. We'll be fine. But she disrespected my boundary, and when I tried to check her, she was like, oh, I'm not one of these other, I forgot what she said, but it was one of the energy about I ain't one of these bitches. My boundaries go for everyone. You disrespected my boundary. Best friend, mama, daddy, cousin, baby daddy, whoever you are, that boundary has been crossed. Do not cross my boundaries. If you cross my boundaries, then you do not have the ability to speak to me anymore. When you are able to come to me and let me know that you realize what you did was wrong so that way it doesn't happen again, then I can talk to you. Best friend, sister, dad, cousin, whoever it is. Once you can take accountability for the fact that this is what you did to me and that it hurt me, then we can talk. But unless you do that, I don't got shit to say to you, and I don't give a fuck who it is. Best friend, mama, cousin, daddy, brother, like I said, it doesn't matter. Don't let anyone disrespect you. Have boundaries and be set in stone in your boundaries. Don't fold on your boundaries, because if a boundary can break, it's just like the levee. Hurricane Katrina, the levee broke and you see what fucking happened. Pretend you're the Katrina levee. Are you gonna break or are you gonna hold strong? Don't let these fucking currents break you. These people break you. Hold your fucking levee.
But the condition should be, whatever it is that he came in propositioning you on in the relationship, he has to maintain that throughout the relationship. So conditional love in the relationship is, if a time goes by where he's consistently not meeting the standard that he set coming in, then you pull back. Conditional love says the relationship title alone ain't enough to maintain access to me.
That's what I didn't learn with my friends.
And then the job
I learned
is done.
it now, but
I'm a matter of daily deposits. You have to earn me on a daily basis to continue.
Because at any day, this account can fucking be closed.
Not manipulative love, where every time he does do something you don't like, you just automatically pull back.
No, don't.
But if it's been clearly established what's expected of him, and he agreed to that, you ain't putting no gun to his head, and then a season of the relationship goes by where he's not doing that, there's no way you should maintain the exact same type of access to that man. If nothing else, it should be a matter of prioritizing how to get that back right. Because if you don't get that back right, you're going to start rewarding and enabling destructive behavior. And as you do that, what you're teaching that man is it's okay to take you for granted.
And that's what Muffin said. I treat you like this because you allow it. Because I thought it was normal, I allowed it. It was normal. Just because it's normal doesn't mean it's right. That is normal behavior for a low vibrational woman, for a low vibrational man, for a low vibrational relationship. That is normal for narcissistic patterns. That is normal for manipulation. It is normal for toxicity. It is not normal and acceptable for healing and for growth. So once you realize that, and now that you can identify that, now we move into the growing and the healing. And we stop the foolishness. We stop the toxic behavior. We didn't know before, but now, right now, we identify what we have, and we're going to move forward with what we have. Not what we didn't, but what we have now. That was really dope. I'm about to skip this ad, but BetterHelp Therapy, they can get this free advertising for me. I actually have a therapist that is from BetterHelp, and I actually love speaking to her. She is the only person I ever get excited about wanting to speak to ever. And sometimes I don't like talking to her because she'll call me out, and I'm like, damn, you didn't have to say that. But I did have to go through a couple therapists. This is my third one. So, like I said, oh yeah, so this is my third therapist. So the first one, I didn't like her at all. And the second one was cool, but he can only go so far. So now I'm on the third one. You have to keep trying different ones, but definitely go get therapy if you need it.
And in order to keep yourself from being taken for granted, you have to make sure a man respects your absence. Again, that comes with your firm boundaries. When you say something, you mean it. Ain't no exceptions. You can have some grace and some patience. That's just in any relationship with a human being, because you need the same thing. But it's never going to become the new normal that you don't get your needs met, or that what you asked him or what you told him is not respected, or that whenever you talk, it's okay for it to go in one ear and out the other. No, that love that you're giving that man should come with conditions. And
I want him to repeat this.
Exceptions. You can have an enabling.
He said, do not break the fucking levee. Your boundaries are there. You can have patience. You can understand that it's going to rain hard sometimes. You can understand that there might be somebody trying to break your levee. There might be some actual, you don't know if somebody was chewing away at the levee before Katrina happened. You don't know. Cool. Not cool. Not cool. Have patience. But don't let nobody break your levee.
Destructive behavior. And as you do that, what you're teaching that man is it's okay to take you for granted. And in order to keep yourself from being taken for granted, you have to make sure a man respects your absence. Again, that comes with your firm boundaries. When you say something, you mean it. Ain't no exceptions.
I said what the fuck I said.
You can have some grace and some patience. That's just in any relationship with a human being, because you need the same thing. But it's never going to become the new normal that you don't get your needs met, or that what you asked him or what you told him is not respected, or that whenever you talk, it's okay for it to go in one ear and out the other. No, that love that you're giving that man should come with conditions. And the only man that's going to have a problem with that is the man that wants to hurt you, the man that doesn't want to have to do what he's supposed to do to keep you. And
say it louder for the bitches in the back.
No, that love that you're giving that man should come with condition. And the only man that's going to have a problem with that is the man that wants to hurt you, the man that doesn't want to have to do what he's supposed to do to keep you. And
what do you mean you want me to be accountable? What do you mean you want me to be the person that I'm supposed to be? What do you mean you want me to be respectful to you? What do you mean you want me to love you and cherish you and do right by you and not cheat on you and you feel me? What do you mean? Why? Why would I treat you with respect and love? Why would I be compassionate? Why would I be generous with my time? Why would I appreciate you? Why would I give you affection? Why would I do this? What the fuck? Why would I do that?
Every other area of our life, we got conditions. We got conditions to keep our car. We don't meet the conditions of paying that bill or that car note, we're going to lose it. If we don't drive the speed limit or whatever, we're going to lose our license.
Put your hair off.
If we don't do what we're supposed to do to take care of our body, we're going to lose our body, our muscles and abs and stuff. We got conditions everywhere else. So in a relationship, why is it that you should ever give something without conditions? That's crazy. Now, can you make that man respect your absence? Not necessarily.
You can't make nobody do nothing. But you want to make sure you're
doing your part. Now, why can't you make him respect your absence? Because you have to be dealing with a man who has the capacity to understand what he has to lose.
And if he does not appreciate you, then he may not be able to understand what you have. Or what is that quote? I was watching Why Did I Get Married Too? And then Jill Scott said, the hardest thing is to have a good man after he's been with a bad woman for so long. And that's my situationship, right? But some men never had a good woman, so they don't know how to treat you. And those are the men you might want to have a little patience with. We're teaching them your boundaries. But that's because you understand that they have the capacity to do it. However, there are men who don't understand. Jay-Z said, you know the price of everything but the value of nothing. You don't need those type of men who know the price of everything but the value of nothing. So you're not a price, you are a value. You're not a price tag. What's the value of this? You don't say, how much is this? the fuck? Why would somebody come to me and say, how much is this? Somebody come up to me and say, I know the value of that. That's a rare breed. That's hard to find. That's valuable. I will never be on the clearance rack because I'm not a price. I'm valued. I'm not priced. I'm valued.
Like, you got people who lose winning lottery tickets all the time. So you don't want to make that your responsibility that you make him see you're a winning lotto ticket. When somebody loses that winning lotto ticket, what happens? Most times they didn't know it was going to be a winning lotto ticket, or they were just so irresponsible. It didn't matter how valuable it was, what they had in their possession, they were going to lose it at some point. That's on them. Cool. Let that be on them. But never let somebody's irresponsibility be the reason why your heart breaks. Because you're thinking, oh, I just need to continue giving them something super valuable to lose when they're showing me they can't take care of what I'm already giving them.
That's just like the children. Like, you don't give your like little baby something that you wouldn't give a 4-year-old something that you would give a 7-year-old. You wouldn't give a 7-year-old something you give a 12-year-old. You would give a 12-year-old something you would give an 18-year-old. There's levels to this, and if they don't understand it, then why would you give them all of you? Like, why?
And the only man that has the capacity to understand that if he doesn't take care of something, he's going to lose it, is an evolved man. There is no evolving that man for him when he wasn't already coming into a relationship with that type of mindset. Now, if you feel like you're already doing your part, you've done the work on yourself, but you're not getting the best out of a man, you're not attracting evolved men, then you need to use the strategies to attract evolved men. Something I went in depth with in my masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. If you haven't yet, get access to that masterclass at the link that you see.
We get the point. I think I'm gonna do another video of him because I actually kind of like this. But the people are at the pool, so I'm gonna wrap this up. I think you guys get the point. I think we need to use that tone and that energy that this lady has right now and her daughter to these men. Why you keep doing the same thing? I literally just told you to wrap up your hair and don't get in a pool. She just got her hair pushed tonight, and her mama told her don't get in a pool with her hair wet like that, and she just do it. Did you hear her tone? I stopped speaking. Y'all heard? That's the same tone y'all need to use to these people, not just men, but people who don't know how to appreciate you and who don't know how to respect your boundaries. I love you so much.